Nangadef, Mashelatud, which translated from Wolof into English is, "Hello, how are you? I'm Michelle." I'm so excited for this opportunity to share with our Adventure of Faith family some of the experiences I had in Africa during this mission trip. I truly feel blessed to have had this opportunity and to have met so many wonderful Christians who are living and working in Senegal following God's call. When I first felt called to become part of the Go team and take part in this ministry, I had definite visions in my head of what this was supposed to look like. Expectations of all the work we would accomplish, and all in 2 weeks, of course. I'm sure God was laughing too. When we arrived in Senegal, reality hit rather quickly, at 108 degrees. But despite a little sickness among the group and a lack of creature comforts like reliable water, consistent air conditioning, or working toilets, with God's help we still managed to have a productive and fulfilling trip. The wall construction has begun, needed supplies were delivered to schools and missionaries, and relationships were made and strengthened. No, it didn't look exactly like what I had envisioned, but God's plan is always better anyway, isn't it? Can you imagine if we'd had to dig ditches in that kind of heat? While we were there, what God put most on my heart was that as important as it is to support our outreach programs and continue to sponsor children and build relationships in Senegal, it truly is about what God is doing in the hearts of those living and working there on a daily basis. We had the chance to meet with many Christians, both foreign and Senegalese, while we were there. We spoke with long-term missionaries Alice and Marilyn, who've both been involved with Bible translation and other ministries during their 45 years each in Senegal. The Garrett family, who have lived there for 15 years, raised 3 children, and are actively involved in Bible translation projects, school sponsorship programs, and disaster relief. We also visited Malika Monkeys, a skills training facility started by 2 Danish missionaries for young Christian men to help them become self-sufficient. However, it's not just Christian missionaries God is using to bring His message to people of Senegal. It's also Senegalese men and women who've converted from Islam to Christianity. We met with Pastor Fall, who's working with our villages of Sarakone and Jongdale, Pastor Sar at Bethesda School, whom God has given a great vision for the future of the school, along with the teachers who are touching the hearts and minds of each child attending there. Awa, who provides a traveling children's ministry out in several villages. Fauline, who runs a women's skills training ministry. All of the folks at the deaf school who teach and run ministry programs, including a telebase center that feeds and evangelizes to homeless boys. And of course, the Senegalese half of our team, Sidi, our interpreter, who after converting to Christianity had had his wife and children taken from him, and yet he continues to teach and spread the word. Babacar, our driver, whose testimony would make you cry, and still the light of God shines through his sense of humor. And Alioune, who recently married a missionary from the U.S. and has plans to continue doing mission work in Africa as a couple. And these are just a few of the people that we met along our journey. Christians who work in the world and are doing what God has called them to do. I truly feel blessed to have had the chance to get to know them and see God working through them to bring the gospel to Senegal.